What if the things we are searching for our entire lives, that feeling of true freedom, that deep sense of finally being home, that unshakable feeling of certainty and safety, aren't destinations we arrive at? What if they aren't things we can find out there at all? What if they have been waiting for us patiently inside of us all along? Welcome to Rooted in Roaming, a sacred space for the untethered seekers. I am your host, Tiffany, and around here we don't do quick fixes, perfect answers, or spiritual bypassings. This is a place for the messy middle, for the becoming, for the in-between chapters where faith is redefined, identity is unraveling, and the healing doesn't come with a manual. Through honest storytelling, kindred conversations, and soul grounding practices, we'll explore what it means to stay rooted in your truth while roaming freely through your becoming. So take a breath, take up space. You're not lost, and you're right on time. Let's begin. Welcome back to Rooted in Roaming and our series of redefining the Seeker's Dictionary. Last week, we reclaimed our energetics. We took a deep, compassionate look at the words of strength and rest, redefining strength as the courage to be vulnerable and rest as the sacred and productive spiritual practice. We gave ourselves permission to honor our true capacity. Today, we will take that replenished energy and turn it inward to the very landscape of our soul. We are going to explore three of the most profound longing of a human's heart, three concepts that drive the seeker's journey perhaps more than any others: freedom, home, and certainty. For so long, and for so many of us, the search for these has been an exhausting external hunt. Today we're going to stop searching and start cultivating. These three concepts are not just separate quests, they are a powerful interconnected trinity. I like to think of them as the triangle of the inner peace, an unshakable foundation we can build within ourselves. Here's how they work together. When cultivating a genuine sense of home within our own being, you feel grounded and safe no matter what your external circumstances are. From a place of inner safety, you discover the true freedom to be your most authentic self without needing to perform or pretend. And when you are living freely from a place of being at home in your own skin, no longer needing to desperately seek for certainty from the external world, your certainty comes from a deep inner trust in your ability to navigate whatever comes. Each point supports the other. Today, we'll explore how to build each side of this sacred triangle. Let's start with freedom. The old inherent definition of freedom is often about escape. It is the absence of rules, of responsibilities, of constraints. It's a reactive desire to run from a job, a relationship, a past. We chase it by buying a plane ticket, quitting a job, ending a relationship, believing that changing our external circumstance will finally set us free. But what does this external chase cause in our body? Our energy. It often creates a state of continuous restlessness. It's a frantic energy, a constant searching that never quite lands. It can feel like we're always on the run, and our nervous system can get stuck in a low grade state of fight or flight. Our soul feels untethered because of our freedom is dependent on what's happening outside of us. So let's redefine it. The rooted and roaming redefinition of freedom is inner liberation. This isn't the freedom from responsibility. It is the freedom to be your most authentic self right here, right now. It's the liberation that comes from unhooking from the need of external approval. It is the freedom to make choices that are deeply aligned with your soul, even if they don't make sense to others. It is the freedom to set a boundary with love, to speak your truth with compassion, to say no to what drains you and yes to what lights you up. This freedom is found by healing the inner patterns that keep us caged, the people pleasing, the fear of judgment, the perfectionism. True freedom isn't chaotic. It's profoundly grounded in a deep self trust we've been cultivating. It is the quiet, powerful peace of being completely ourselves. And that feeling of being free in your own skin leads us directly to the next redefinition: home. The old definition paints home as this external location, a physical house, a specific city, or maybe a particular person. We tell ourselves, I'll feel at home when I move there. My home is with this person. And the consequence of this external search, it leaves us feeling constantly unsettled. Our sense of safety and belonging is always contingent on something outside of us that can be changed. A lease can end. We can be forced to move. A relationship can shift, and suddenly we are experiencing this feeling of emotional and spiritual homelessness and untethered and adrift. This creates a deep seated anxiety within our body, a feeling that the foundation is built on a shaky ground. Our soul never truly settles because it's always looking for that next place to land. What if the most essential home is one that could never be taken away from us? The rooted and roaming redefinition of home is an internal state of being. Home is not a place you find, it is a presence you cultivate within yourself. It is a feeling of being grounded, safe, and deeply at peace within your own body, mind, and soul. No matter where you are in this world, it's that quiet anchor of I am, that essence. It's the compassionate space you learn to hold for your own vulnerable self. Home is a portable sanctuary you can carry within you, always. It's the feeling of your feet on the earth, the rhythm of your own breath, the steady beat of your own heart. You are your own homecoming. I have been on an external search for these three things for the most of my adult life. For years, I have truly thought freedom meant moving away at 18, physically running from my past, putting hundreds of miles between me and my hometown. That running continued for a long time. Eventually, I bought my first home and settled down with my two pups. And in that moment, I thought, okay, this is it. I found home. But the feeling was conditional. The house felt like home, but my travels, my frequent trips, they still felt like an escape. I was still searching. And when I stepped away from my W-2 job about 2 years ago, I was chasing freedom again with a new definition. I described it as being my own boss, making my own rules, my own schedule, having the ability to do what I want when I wanted. And for a while, I lived this version of freedom to the fullest. I traveled out of state every single month for a year. It was exciting. It was expansive. And yet nothing truly got done in my life and in my business. I was still running and still searching, even though on paper I had everything I thought I wanted. No boss, no set schedule, no rules, no one to answer to. Looking back, I see that yes, this was a type of freedom, but it wasn't the deep soul level liberation I was actually craving. It was freedom that came with a cost, leaving me feeling untethered and a bit lost. It wasn't until I stopped the frantic external search that the real shift began. I had to step back and be grateful for the experiences of the last year and a half, and also look within and start putting the puzzle together. I had to ask myself, what do these things really mean to me? I began to understand I wasn't running from responsibility because they always seemed to find me. I was running from myself. The profound realization was that I didn't need to search outside myself for freedom, home, or certainty because I had the potential for all of that all along. Once I started to truly grasp that, I began to feel more grounded. Now, my journey is about cultivating them within inside of me. I'm figuring out what true freedom looks like for me now. The freedom to be authentic, the freedom not to escape. I know what home feels like now. And I even have a song that reminds me of that feeling anytime I need it. And as for certainty, I have redefined it. I'm actively building it inside myself day by day. I do not know what the future holds. And yes, there is still times when the old parts of me tries to control everything. And I know now, in reality, I control very little in my external world. The real practice is in surrendering and looking within to find the certainty, because I am building this strong, grounded inner foundation. I know that anything that comes my way, yes, it may rock me, may shake me, it may even challenge me a bit, but it won't break me because I have a solid foundation to turn into, a home within myself that will always be there. And that journey from the external hut to the internal cultivation is the very heart of this redefinition. The feeling of building that inner foundation that won't break, that leads us directly to our final and most subtle concept, certainty. In the old dictionary, certainty is an external condition. It's knowing the outcome. It's having the predictable 5-year plan, a secure job, a guaranteed income, a stable relationship. It's the absence of doubt. The consequence of this chase is a mind that constantly spins. It lives in the future trying to predict and control every variable. This creates immense anxiety, drains our creative energy, and disconnects us from the beauty and possibilities of the present moment. Our soul feels constricted, braced from a future that may never happen, because it doesn't trust that it can handle what comes. So we must redefine it. The rooted and roaming redefinition of certainty is unshakable inner trust. In a world that inherently is uncertain, chasing external certainty is exhausting and a losing battle. True sustainable certainty is not knowing what the future holds. It is having that unshakable trust in your capacity to navigate whatever the future brings. It's that deep inner knowing that you have your own back, that you are resilient, that you are guided by your own intuition, that you have the tools to handle challenges, that shifting your faith from having certainty in a plan to having certainty in your own presence and your ability to meet the moment, whatever it may hold. Do you see how all these weave together now? This is the triangle of the inner peace. When you feel truly at home in your own soul, your nervous system finally can relax. You feel safe. And from that safety, you can have that freedom to be whoever you are without apology. And from that grounded, authentic place, you can find certainty, not in the world around you, but in the world within you. You trust yourself. This is how we learn to be rooted while we roam. This is the profound peace that can be found right in the heart of the in between. So we can stop the relentless searching. We can call off the hunt. The freedom, the home, the certainty we crave are not treasures to be found out there. They are states of being to be cultivated right here on the inside. So to recap the redefinitions from today, we redefined freedom from the external escape to the internal liberation. We redefined home from a physical place to an internal presence. And we redefined certainty from a predictable outcome to an unshakable inner trust. My invitation for you this week is simple. A gentle practice. Choose one of the 3 words from freedom, home, or certainty. And for just a few minutes each day, maybe when you wake up or before you go to sleep, I invite you to close your eyes, place your hand on your heart, and ask yourself, what does this feeling already feel like in my body? Even just a little bit. Don't search for it outside. See if you can find a small, quiet spark of it already living within you. Next week, in our final episode of Redefining, we will integrate everything we've explored and talk about the ultimate tool, the ongoing power to redefine your reality, your beliefs, your path, moment by moment. Thank you for joining me in this deep, quiet exploration. It's such an honor to hold this space with you. Until next time, stay rooted, keep roaming, and I'll meet you in the in-between. Thank you again for being here, for listening, for letting this space be a part of your journey. If something in this episode stirred something in you, let it root. And if you are still in the messy middle, still figuring things out, you're not behind, you're becoming. Make sure to follow or subscribe so you don't miss out on what's next. You can connect deeper with me on Instagram, or if you're craving a sacred community, join us at Rooted in Roaming, the Facebook group. The links will be below. Remember, you don't need to have all the answers. Just take a deep breath, speak your truth, and have the courage to keep going. Until next time, stay rooted, keep roaming, and I'll meet you in the in-between.